great performance out. I think it was last week he was in tier 2. Don't take my word for it though. I'm getting old. As we are now ready for the start of the Grand Prix, 5 red lights. And we are racing here in Tier 2 F1 Break Boys. And it's a little bit of a moment in the background there for the Williams. I'll quickly sort out all of this as let's ride on board down into turn 1. Hopefully there's no carnage. Any late breakers. And I'm hoping we've got through unscathed. A little bit of side-by-side action there between Donkey, and he is not the greatest of starts. A little bit of a spin at the back there for Lofty Pickle of all people. But it's Baja who gets away from the 2 Ferrari drivers. And Donkey has not had a great start. He's down into P6. And you can see there on the minimap in the bottom right-hand corner, Lofty Pickle is down 4.7 seconds. That is not the start he wanted. And let's try and get everything up so you guys can see all the information. You can see only 2 people went for the alternate strategy in the end, down in P17 and 18. Let's do that tyre. And let's quickly have a look at the position changes. Donkey lost 4 positions, and respectively everyone above him has gained 1. Snipes has gained 8 positions, and we haven't even finished lap 1 yet. General Jake up 6. You can see Bruce Wayne. And there's a yellow flag back there, and that is General Jake who's retired. And will that be an early safety car? It is. He's had a bit of a moment at Ascari, and that is probably that inside curve that I was on about in qualifying. And I very much doubt we will see anyone peel off into the pits unless they've got wing damage this early on. And you can see there is a few people in the pits. And that's going to be Owen Howe. Will he go for the hards on 26 laps? There's a lot of guys in the pits now. Is this all for wing damage? As that is not the 10 seconds you want to be getting on lap 1 for Golden Egg Fryer as he picks up. And there are people going to be trying to go to the end on these hard tyres. Anyone for wing damage at all? No, this is purely to go to the end on 26 lap old hards. So there's going to be a massive split in the strategy now, as these guys at the front are going to be making the most of their medium compound tyres, and then of course at the back these guys are going to be looking to nurse these hard compound tyres for 26 laps, which is going to be interesting, because obviously if these medium runners in the top 10 can peel away from the hard runners, obviously it's very difficult to get out of DRS around this track, but if they can do it, and they're going to be massively advantaged towards the end of the race on the fresher hard compound tyres. Let's take another look. Of course, Golden Egg Fryer with the only penalty, which he might potentially be able to get removed, because if he is going to the end now, he won't need to make another pit stop, and of course won't need to serve that 10-second penalty. But position changes, we can see Tolu and Owen have obviously lost 6 seconds due to pitting for the hard tyres. Bruce Wayne obviously had a bit of a moment, so I think he was down 6 positions anyway. But he is down 7 positions now after pitting. The main gainer in this one is Snipes, who's reserving in the Kick Sauber. Donkey didn't have a great start there. I don't know what happened into turn 1, but he was side by side with one of the Haas drivers. But still, you can see the top 3. Like I said, a little bit jumbled up, but last week obviously Tenkart won around the Circuit of the Americas. Perez pits once again. I suppose he's not going to be losing too much, 2 positions, and he will be on the hards to go to the end like everyone at the back of the grid. But as I was saying, Baja was splitting the 2 Ferraris. It's a bit of a Ferrari sandwich last week. Tenkart in P1, Baja P2, and Eagle in P3. I think it was Razor P4 actually. Let me just check the race results. Where are we? Tier 2 race results. No, because Arbon paid the stewards to get that P4 back after he got his penalty removal. It would have been P4 Razor. No Verklempt this week, who did finish P6, and it was last week that Tolly finished P7. So we'll be hoping to repeat that once again. Obviously down in P14, but he has pit for the hard tyres. I'll just put that back up for you guys. Now you can see the massive split in strategy. Agbala Jobs is the only person to stay on the hard tyre. And yeah, he's probably made the right choice there. A lot of common sense to not pit for the mediums to go to the end, because I am very curious to see how these hard tyres are going to be performing on lap 27 of this race, as we have the safety car coming in this lap. Let's ride on board with Baja. And he doesn't want to be doing what the tier 6 guys did last night, which is push too early. And obviously that'll automatically slow down the car and concertina effect backwards, cause a lot of accidents. A bit like the Tuscan Grand Prix in 2020, where a lot of cars did crash. But anyway, enough of me rambling on about shit. Safety car is coming in. And when is Baja going to go? He's going to just about cut off 10 car, and that's going to get removed. But it's going to be annoying because Baja will need to serve that anyway, so he's not going to get it removed. He's just going to lose 10 seconds in the race. As we have Snipes and Shelby side by side in turn one. Let's ride third person. There's a little bit of a dive, and that is a massive lunge for one of the Ferrari drivers. And that is potentially going to be straight to the stewards, as Baja is now down to P17. So he's received a 10-second penalty, which he will need to serve. Side by side, now coming down into the Sector 1 split for the Ferrari drivers. And it's pushed a little bit wide, and that is a slight moment from Igor. And who comes off better out of all of that? Tarrier. Tarrier in P2 now. So it's Igor and Baja have both had a moment on that safety car restart. Tarrier right on the back of 10 car. Was it 10 car who got the 10-second penalty? He got 3 seconds. Ah, okay. Tarrier is right on the back there. So we have side by side into Ascari for Snipes and DJ. Snipes comes off the best, as we have a little bit of a moment back there for Igor, who's had a pretty shocking restart. I'm hoping he hasn't got wing damage, but he might well do after that lunge. I'm hoping we can get... you can see that he does have wing damage. He has the front left end plate missing. There's a brilliant lunge up the inside there from Owen. Take full advantage of that wing damage on the Ferrari. It's just going to probably peel off into the pits there. Hopefully he doesn't get a 10-second penalty, which he does. I'm just going to shut up with the commentator curses now. So he's got to serve this 10-second penalty. And he's then got a 10-second penalty on top of that as well. It's not great. But Tarrier must have had a bit of a moment now, with Shelby right on the back of Donkey has jumped up a lot of positions on that restart. He's now into P4 from P7, I believe. Razor is going to be looking to go for a move down into turn number 4. Thinks better of it. A little bit wide there from the Aston Martin driver though, and it's going to be a good exit for Razor. He decides to stay behind. But look who is up into P7. It's Lofty Pickle. As Igor gets 10 seconds for corner cutting. And there might be a Guinness World Records for the most amount of penalties in a race. I think he's on 20 seconds at the moment. But anyway, let's ride on board with the front two, as Tarrier is nearly out of DRS of 10k, and that's going to be track limits. And a horrible line for Ascari, and that's going to push Shelby a little bit wide. Shelby says, thank you very much. I'm going to hope I stay in DRS, which he's not going to be able to. Donkey's going to be looking for side by side as we come down into Parabolica now. A little bit of a nudge from Tarrier. All fair racing, but now you can see Shelby is 1.1 seconds away from 10 car. That's not going to help him down this home straight, as Tarrier now will have DRS. Using overtake, he's now in 3% ERS. Donkey in 16, and Razor, the best of them all, with 51. So Shelby's managed to get back into DRS, but only provisionally. The fight's going left, right and centre behind in the mid-pack. 3 wide coming out of that chicane. Through the Curva Grande, side by side between Tolu and 10th Cannon. Who is going to come off the best out of all these guys? It's riding ball with Owen Howe's rear wing. I'll be safe to say that 10th Cannon will back out. Tolu takes the race in line. Thank you very much. Up to P9 for the Alpine driver. So Shelby's definitely in DRS now. 3.5 tenths now. A little bit wide there from DJ, and Owen goes up the inside, and it's going to be a bit of a switchback. Igor retires from the session. He has not had the great race in front of the virtual Tifosi. So side by side coming down to Ascari. This is not where you want to go side by side, guys, but they're going to do it anyway. Little bit of a moment, and it is Owen Howe that gets the better of DJ, and Tolu has a little bit of a side by side moment with DJ. And where's this speed coming from? Oh, this is going to be chaos into Parabolica. Great helicopter cam it, actually. A little bit of contact, but they all come through unscathed. And like I said, the DRS trains are going to commence as Tarrier sets the fastest lap. It's riding ball with Tim Cannon, who is at the back of all this. Snipes might have a little bit of a look, and I don't know what wings Snipes is running, but he's past Tim Cannon with a breeze as he wants to go up the inside here. 3 wide is not going to happen through there. DJ has not had a great lap. I think it's down 3 or 4 positions now. But Owen Howe is at the front. So we have a yellow flag in the first chicane. And that is Infinity around. Oh, it's the Williams of Infinity. Owen Howe is leading this train that's split up from the lead pack. You can see, like I mentioned, the hard running drivers have split up from the mediums. So this differing in strategy is going to differ even more now. These guys need to work together, the hard compound runners. But I can't see that happening at all, as people want the best position possible. Shelby has managed to get past 10k and Tarrier at the front here. Down into Parabolica now, less than a tenth split in Shelby and 10K as Shelby's had the better exit. But you can see 10K is looking to get past the RB driver, using a bit of overtake, hot lap, and now DRS. He's got Tarrier for company though. He's going to look to get the move done down into turn 1. Lofty Pickle and Razor. There's all sorts of side-by-side action down into turn 1. And it's 10K that gets the better of the lot. Side-by-side again. A little bit of a moment there from Tarrier. Snipes gets a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. That's not what you want. And another 3 seconds for Golden Egg Fryer. 10K has managed to get 6/10 deficit to Tarrier. These guys are looking to get moves done. As a little bit of a look there from Donkey. Snipes, once again, 10 seconds. I don't know what's going on back there. Let's have a quick butchers. I hope nothing too sinister as Perez gets the move done past Snipes. Side by side through the two Lesmos. It's Perez that gets the better of the kick salver driver. It's, Temp Cannon is basically pushing Golden Egg Fryer through that corner there. DRS activated, now coming down into Ascari. See Owen Howe has lost out a couple of positions to Tolu and HFC Sean. Still with the DRS, I think the gap was over 2 seconds, so these guys on the hard tyres are going to be catching the mediums slowly. You can see ahead, there's a massive train. Lofty Pickle right at the back saving his ERS, which is a sensible thing to do, but you can see in front, not so sensible things going on. Tarrier goes for the move on 10k, side by side with Hash Driver and Donkey, and they just about get through. A little bit of touching on the exit, but nothing too bad. It's Lofty Pickle says thank you very much, I'm going to try and take you all. And yeah, he's not going to go down without a fight as Razor is squeezing him off the track a little bit. And they'll have to slot into position as they come down into the chicane as Donkey thinks to go for a audacious move into the first part of that chicane. And they're slotting quite a bit of time. You can see now Sean, his teammate, is now within DRS. So this is not what the lead pack wanted at all. The hard tyres are going to be switching to the medium tyres obviously later on. They will have the advantage come the end of the race. And they're all pushing each other basically through that chicane as Shelby has a bit of a moment and Razor now slots up into P3. And so much of a moment that Lofty Pickle might even think about going to the move into Parabolica. And he does have a little bit of a lunge. Pushes Shelby a little bit wide, but I don't see anything wrong with that at all. But I don't think Shelby's going to go down without fight. It's all about ERS management here, because these guys are going to use all their ERS possible down into the start-finish straight. You can see Razor's on 18%. Side by side though between Tarrier and 10K, and 10K is not going to get the exit he wants. Slots in behind the Alpine driver, and that's P1 for Tarrier as it stands. Hoping for better luck though, because Tarrier has put in some great performances and hasn't gone too well for him at the end of the races. I think he was looking for a race win at one point this season, and it's ended in a DNF. Hence the nickname LTK Barrier instead of Tarrier. I'm hoping tonight you can prove that wrong. But it is lap 10 of 27 here in F1 Break Boys Round 8. It's Tarry that leads the Grand Prix. 10 car looking to stick with his rival at the moment. We've got Razor, Full Company in P3. Lofty Pickle, the championship leader in P4. He's had a good start after starting, I believe, down in P13. Let's have a quick look at the position changes. It was P13, yep. Shelby in P5, who's been overtaken by Donkey. Down into Parabolica, and side by side ahead once again. Lofty Pickle looking to make the moves. He's making the moves down to Parabolica quite a bit. I think last lap he did overtake Shelby. So Shelby has dropped 2 positions now, but here is the DRS train, and you can see Tenkart and Tarry have been swapping each lap. Just trying to not... Oh, as Lofty Pickle thinks about it up the inside into turn 1. And in course of that, this gave the room to Razor, and who's going to get the better exit out of these two? It's going to be Lofty Pickle, and Donkey Dan might even have a think for a move, but he is low on ERS, very low in fact, 10%. You can see in the gaps in the top left, Sean is right behind for company as well. As I have no words for that. Yeah, so we have 2 cars out of the race now. I think that's a massive moment once again for Mr. L. Safety car, safety car. So the guys that pit on the hards at the start are probably now going to be switching to the mediums once again. Or even another set of hards. But that was absolute chaos. I think there was a car about 10 foot in the air at one point, and that was Tolu. I'm not sure what did happen there. Just a lot of cars and carnage and debris. But a safety car. Let's see if anyone will pit. I imagine the medium guys will be pumping their fists in the air, surely, as they now go on to the hard compound tyres. And that should be to the end on the fresher tyres. Be interested to see what the hard runners do. If they go for another set of hards or another set of mediums. As Sean stays out, he's thinking he can go to the end on them hard tyres and will get track position. You can see all of these guys that are now pitting, they are not going to have the track position. I think Sean is the only one that hasn't pit. Mr. L, I'm so excited to watch like 30 instant clips. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. It's, yeah, it's going to be interesting. That was a bit of a carnage accident. It's not really a corner. It is a corner curve at Grande, but the crash around a flat out corner is not ideal. There's probably a little bit of argy-bargy going on, but nonetheless, you can see another split in the strategy. All the hard runners at the front there that were on the mediums. As Owen Howell obviously hit on lap 2 after that safety car, is now on the mediums. Can he take their mediums 15 laps? He's going to have the a good start on the safety car restart. But obviously towards the end, them final few laps are going to be a bit painful holding on compared to the hard runners. Yeah, the tier 2 shows are not going to have a good time at all. To be fair, it's been pretty clean. It's been competitive racing. I have no idea what happened there. I really don't. I think it's where the contact model doesn't help at all. Because obviously if the tyres get locked, it just flings you both straight into the wall. Can sometimes be a racing incident, but of course in some incidents it's someone's fault. So we shall see. We'll try and put that behind us as we focus on the race. See as 10 lap old hards, and we'll now need to go another 15 laps. Sean is not going to have the tyre advantage at any point in this race unless there is another safety car and he does get track position, and he will then be able to pit again. But I don't think he'll be able to. I think track position is quite important around here. I think it's shown in quite a few of the DRS trains that, I mean, for instance, if Tarrier and Tenkart just keep swapping between each other, the likes of Lofty Pickle, Razor, Donkey and Owen, like they're just constantly switching between each other. So anything said in the tier 2 chat at all? Batman, I can't even leave because I have to screenshot race results. I can screenshot it if you want, mate. And I'm in game chat 2 seconds. I just need to put myself back into a party. Yeah, Batman, if you're listening, I can just screenshot, or you can watch my stream back and screenshot that. If you did want to leave, by all means you can. Snipes pits for the soft tyres. Let's have a quick update on the penalties. I haven't checked them since the start of the race, when Golden Egg Fryer had 10 seconds to his name. See, the guys that did get the 10 seconds, I've got rid of them except Snipes. And so far, just under halfway through the race, it's 10 Kart with 3 seconds, Shelby with 3 seconds, Golden Egg Fryer and Agbala Jobs with 3 seconds. So both Red Bulls back there in P13, P14. P15 and P16 are the Kick Saber guys. Baha, after that little bit of an incident, is back down there. Obviously, plenty of time to fly up the order. So we have another lap now going with the safety car, waiting for Snipes to catch up, of course. Let's go back to the tyres so you can see what everyone's on. If Snipes can take them soft tyres to the end without any issues, hats off to him, but I just can't see that happening at all, to be brutally honest. This will be helping out Sean quite a bit actually, because this will be 2 more laps, well, it'll be 3 laps since I last checked on his tyres. 3 more laps under the safety car, and that's a lot of tyre wear he will be missing out on. So that'll be saving his tyres for the end. I wish him the best of luck. It's different, it's against the grain of everyone else on the grid, sorry. Tolu's left. I thought that was my game crashing then because I saw online services communicating in the top left. Yeah, 2 safety cars, we're not even halfway through. It is what it is. Turning into Tier 3. Tier 2 is the new Tier 3. Arbon's going to come back after missing a race and be like, what has gone on? As the safety car is coming in this lap, Sean will be leading the way in the Aston Martin. 2nd place in the championship at the moment. His championship rival, Lofty Pickle, in P4 on the fresh hard tyres. It's going to be a hell of a restart. These cold hards are going to take a while to get up to temperature. Obviously the mediums will be rubbing in a lot quicker. Softer compound tyre there. It's those guys from, well, Owen in P7, obviously P11 downwards, looking to get up the order quite quickly. As the safety car has now come into the pits, so Sean can jump at any sort of moment he wants to. And he's gone. And he's completely caught 10 Kart outboard's surprise. And he's already got half a second gap. Obviously the slipstream down this straight is going to be crazy. You can see Razor didn't get a great start at all. Already a second clear, Lofty Pickle. And you can see the gain as he comes down into turn 1. Will it be enough to get ahead of Sean? Down to turn 1, you can see Donkey's going for a move on Razor. And he does manage to keep it into turn 1. Is there any instance further back? It's a little bit of argy-bargy back there. The 2 Hasses and Aston Martin 4 wide. And it's not going to go well. Oh, it's a little bit of a moment there for Donkey. And it's not had a great race on the restarts here. DJ trying to make it 3 wide. That's going to be interesting through Curva Grande. Down into the Sector 1 split. And he gets ahead of both Haas drivers. That was a great move from DJ there. And side by side for the Haas guys. That's not what I want to see personally. But it's Razor that gets the best of Owen Howe. Down into P8 after that restart. And the hard guys have come out unscathed. Minus Donkey, who has not had a great restart, now going through Lesmo 1 and 7.9 seconds behind. And for some reason, Snipes is now on the mediums. I don't know why it's glitched like that, but he's now on the mediums. I did think softs was a bit of an extreme strategy, but nevertheless, Sean has managed to stay in P1. You can see Lofty Pickle and 10 Kart. 10 Kart's lost out to Tarrier. Lofty Pickle is not going to go for his trademark move into Parabolica. We start lap 16 now. Sean is still in the lead, but you can see Tarrier is going to be burning to try and get ahead of Sean and put a car between himself and Tarrier. Lofty Pickle right in the slipstream of 10 Kart. We're going to go side by side down into turn 1. Hopefully no one is going to outbrake themselves. It's a great move from Pickle. 10 Kart slots in behind the McLaren. Little bit of, was that wing damage there for Lofty Pickle? He hit the back of the Aston Martin there, and I believe he's got both end plates, so that is all good. Lofty Pickle is burning ERS. That causes Sean to then burn himself. And Sean is now going to be forced to do a move into turn number 4. And it's Tarrier that leads now into Lesmo. He's going to be wanting to use all the ERS possible to try and get away from Sean, who is now on 10 lap older hards than these guys in front. Temp Cannon goes for the move on Razor back in P8. And Owen has managed to overtake his teammate Donkey with a 3-second penalty. That's not gone well for the Aston Martin, can't even speak, Aston Martin driver. DRS is obviously now enabled for Ascari we go. 3.5 temps to separate the top 3. Shelby's now going to look to go for a move into Parabolica. Is Lofty Pickle going to go for a straight up move into Parabolica? He overtakes Sean and he's on the outside. Can he make it stick? It's right aboard with Sean. And Lofty Pickle gets the move done, and he'll of course now have DRS on Tarrier, so he could be put up to P1 by the end of this straight. See, everyone's trying to burn ERS, trying to maintain position. Shelby's going to have a little look up the inside. 10 Cut makes contact with Sean. Can't even speak. So much going on. Donkey Down sets the fastest time of the race so far. Sean hangs on to P3. You can see he's losing a bit of time to Lofty Pickle. Shelby now ahead in P4 of 10 Cut. Both have 3-second penalties though. Owen Howe on the medium compound looking to gain on these guys. As 10 Cut has a terrible line through there, and this is going to help Owen Howe through up into the sector 2 split and gets ahead of 10 Cut for Lesmo 1. And looking to gain a little bit of time through Lesmo 2 as Sean gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help him at all. In the top 6, we now have 3 drivers that don't have a 3-second penalty. That's Owen Howe, Lofty Pickle going for the move on Tarrier, and of course Tarrier himself. And breathe. A little bit of action there for you guys. Templar Speed always puts up a good show. See, everyone is in DRS all the way down to P11 in the Williams driver of Infinity. Snipes going for a move on Agbala Jobs into Parabolica. Sorry guys, I needed to take a drink, my throat was gone. It's lap 18 now. It's sort of dulled down a bit now. We've had quite a bit of action after that safety car restart. 10 laps to go now, including this one. Tarrier still leading this race with no penalties. Lofty Pickle in P2 looking to get his 6th race win of the season and get back to winning ways after 2 races not in that top 7 at all. A little bit of a gap forming between Sean, obviously he's got that 10 lap tyre deficit and a little bit of DRS checking going on. Don't really want to go be going side by side for Ascari, to be honest, so it's quite sensible from Lofty Pickle. Baha gets a 3-second penalty down in P13. So a little bit wide there from Shelby, that's going to help Sean, and really wash that wide there from Shelby. Now a little bit of a gap forming between 10 Car and P7 with DJ in the McLaren. 1.4 seconds now. So the likes of Razor and Infinity are going to be wanting to make moves up the order as just missed out on contact there between Lofty and Tarrier. Tarrier still managed to stay ahead after that chicane as we come through Curva Grande now. Will Lofty Pickle looking to be going the move, looking to get the move done, sorry. Going to be side by side. Shelby's going to have a brilliant view of this as Lofty Pickle does the sensible thing and slot behind Tarrier. Doesn't help his exit though, as Shelby is going to be right on the back of him as we reach now into sector 2. Lesmo 1 and through to Lesmo 2. So the top 6 now in the train. Razor looking to make inroads to get back into DRS. So these guys are now going to work together down into Ascari chicane. Lofty Pickle now takes the lead, takes a lot of curb for it. I wouldn't be surprised if we get to warning. Let's have a quick look at the warnings actually. So, Lofty Pickle has no warnings whatsoever. Looking for the clean sweep, and Tarrier has 2 warnings, one on lap 1 and one on lap number 7. So advantage Lofty Pickle at the moment. We now start lap number 20. Shelby looking to make the move on Tarrier as he's burning all of his ERS. And he's going to get the move done, but Tarrier's going to be boxed in from Pickle in front. And it's going to be too wide, and Shelby and Pickle are going to be side by side. Tarrier slots in behind, a little bit of contact behind. But it's Shelby that gets the move done, and away he goes. P1 for the Vita Cash Up RB driver. I think there's a bit of ghosting going on behind here. 10 Kart and Owen are side by side through curve of ground. We don't want a repeat of Tolu and Batman. And these guys think better of it. And up to P5 for 10 Kart now. But it's Shelby P1, Lofty Pickle now P2, Tarrier comes up worse after getting boxed in there, P3. And there's quite a few drivers that still haven't got penalties, so of course, I believe it's 3 seconds for these guys. Yeah, so the likes of Owen, DJ, Razor, Infinity, these could all gain from Sean and 10K if they can stay within that 3 seconds. Shelby gets another 3-second penalty. That's going to be 6 seconds now, so it's going to drop way down the order. And the penalties are going to start flying in now with 7 laps to go. DJ gets it 3 seconds too. You can see it's a big gainers now. But Shelby's gone up 9, Lofty Pick up 11, Sean up 11. Even Infinity is is he up 10? Anyway, let's get back to the action. Lap number 21 now. Let's see if there's any moves going up the front. Sorry, butcher the menus. Shelby managed to stay in front, and a lot of people looking to break the toe there. You can see there's now a 7.5 tenth gap between Sean and Tarrier. So I don't know what's happened into Parabolica. These gaps forming could cause a little bit of a time loss for the guys behind. Owen now 8 tenths behind 10 Kart. So something's definitely going on there. Sean is now 9 tenths now. He's going to be wanting to stay within DRS on them 19 lap old hards. So he's going to be one of them top 3 to battle that out a little bit more just to stay within range. Which I think he might get his wish here through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. The DRS detection zone is there, and he has managed to get DRS. There's all sorts of games going on up ahead. Lofty Pickle looking to break the toe from Tarrier, but these guys are going to be to and fro for the last few laps, I can already guarantee it. Tarrier on 10% ERS. Lofty Pickle has done a great job of saving his ERS. He's now on 94%. Not so great for Shelby. So Lofty Pickle, as we have a VSC and a bit of a moment there for Snipes through Ascari, and we have a bit of a downtime now, a bit of a calm before the storm. Start lap 22 now. Give these guys a little bit of a rest. And certainly give Sean's tyres a bit of a rest, as he 20 laps on them now. Still doing well in P4 though. Snipes peels off into the pits and retires, so anyone that finishes the race now will get points. Obviously the top 15 score points here in F1 Broke Boys. 1 point for pole position and 1 point for the fastest lap. Granted, you are in the top 10. So let's see who will get that additional point as we wait for the VSC to restart. And it's not in this menu. Fastest lap is Owen Howell at the moment, so he'll be getting an extra point for Haas. Balajob somehow gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting during the VSC. These guys are going to have to watch their delta now. I'm pretty sure the restart will be any second now, as Shelby's teetering on the edge of that delta. Just wait for that green flag. Hopefully no 10-second penalties pop up. Sorry. Who's going to get the jump? Bang on. As Shelby DRS enabled, we are racing, and Tarrier has got a great restart there. But Lofty Pickle manages to stay ahead. Half a second now splits Shelby and Lofty Pickle. Now a second gap between Owen Howell and 10 Kart, so he's not had the restart he'd want. He hasn't got DRS, so he is burning. He's now down at 30%, but that has put him back in that DRS range. Shelby stays ahead as we go through turn 1 and turn 2. Tarrier is looking to go side by side with Pickle through Curva Grande. Thinks better of it, just a 10th between these guys. little bit of grass, but he gets a great exit and a great line through there through Tario. He's having a great race so far. Through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Shelby still keeping that gap above half a second. Obviously that's now going to close as we come on to this back straight. DRS now enabled. 7 tenths, and I think Lofty Pickle has been caught out a little bit here. He's going to have to burn a little bit of DRS to stay ahead of Tario. You can see that gap has now gone from 7 tenths to Shelby, now half a second. That's going to be closing and closing as we now come down the straight after Ascari. Lofty Pickle, you can see that red light flashing. He is saving ERS. Ready for this attack onto lap number 24. Half a second between these guys. Roundabout now is when the games start to play. So it's a little bit of a neutralisation of the race. These guys are going to want to get ahead of everyone they can. It's a little bit of a lunge there from Lofty Pickle, but he thinks better of it and slots right behind Shelby once again. I think obviously at the moment he's provisionally going to finish P1 with Shelby on 6 seconds of time penalties. Tario obviously P2. So definitely the games are going to start to set in on these final few laps. You can see a bit of a gap now formed between 10Car and DJ Paul. Owen Howe must have had a bit of a moment. He's down in P9 after being right behind 10K actually. Oh, a little bit of curb on the inside there through Lesmo 1 for Tario. You don't want to be doing that with 3 or 4 laps to go. Burning all the ERS he can. See Lofty Pickle once again saving his ERS. He's in non-ERS mode. Letting the DRS do the work, and he's still 2.5 tenths behind Shelby. See Sean, even though he's on 22 lap hold hards, trying to push Tario through the Ascari chicane. Still staying within touching distance as Owen Howe has had a moment after Ascari. Hoping he can get that going once again. Luckily he didn't unghost there through Agbala jobs. Shelby now starts lap 25. You can see he's pulling out of the slipstream of Lofty Pickle with 10% left of ERS. As Tario is going to look to go around the outside for the inside line for turn 2. As a bit of a moment, and Lofty Pickle is always going to get that quicker exit. The outside line, or the inside for turn 1, outside for turn 2, is the best line here. So if you're ever going to go for a move down into turn 1, it's got to be on the inside if you want the better exit. As Sean has now overtaken Tario, and there's a little bit of a contact, and that is 10K round. That is not what he wants at all, and that was never going to work down into that chicane at all. Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2, let's go. So, Sean is going to be glad that one of his other competitors is now essentially out of the race down in, well, he's managed to get it going actually, 10K, P5 still. That was a ambitious move for the Ferrari driver as Tario's now lost out. Sean has a bit of a moment, struggling on them 23 lap old hards. Tario now looking to get past Sean with 5% ERS left. This is a little bit of contact. This is the sort of part of the race you want to be starting to save up ERS for that final few laps, as they're not going to give each other an inch of room down the start finish straight. It is Sean that comes out on top, of course. Tario has got 40% ERS. Sean still has 40% in the tank. And 10K is coming back for revenge. I'm hoping he hasn't got damage at all. And I believe he hasn't. Both end plates are still there. Tario needs to start saving that ERS though, if he stands a chance of getting within a chance at the win actually. Did non-ERS modes. Sean, oh, he gets a 3-second penalty. That's his first one. That's the second one. 6 seconds. So net P2 for Tario at the moment with a lap and a half to go. Lofty Pickle is saving up everything, ready for the final lap. So Tario's got past Sean, and he's going to be within striking distance of Lofty Pickle, but with no ERS left coming into this final lap, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Let's see how 10K is doing. He's got the right idea with 80% ERS, but he still needs to clear Sean. As we round off now the final lap coming through Parabolica, we're right on board with Shelby to see what the strategy is for Lofty Pickle. Of course, Shelby has 6 seconds to his name, but it's Lofty Pickle who will take this race win. You can see Tario is going to potentially try and get past as well, but with literally no ERS left, it's going to be quite difficult as Lofty Pickle decides otherwise. Oh, as Tarrier goes for an ambitious move up the inside, and he's going to put all hands on deck for this final. Oh no, Tarrier, come on, mate. Yeah, interesting move. It's never going to end well there, but Lofty Pickle comes off best, but he's still provisional P1. And Razor, now with no penalties to his name, is up into P5. This could be a podium position for Razor if he can stay within arm's length of the guys with penalties up front. Through Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2. Let's see what goes on here as Sean has now lost ERS to Shelby. This could potentially hold up 10 for this final effort. 10 says, thank you very much. I'm going to take this P2 on track. You can see behind this moves going on. So Tarry gets a 3 seconds. Oh, he's had such. Oh, yeah. He had such a great race, and on the final lap, it's all crumbled away. As we come through Parabolica, the final lap now, it's going to be Shelby in the Visa Cash Up RB that takes the win on track. But it's going to be a mishmash of who actually finishes on the top spot. I believe it's going to be Lofty Pickle for his 6th win of the season. It is Lofty Pickle P1. Razor, of all people, P2. 10 Kart rounds off the podium with a P3. Infinity with a great race, P4 for him. And Shelby, despite all the penalties, P5. DJ, P6. 10th Cannon, who's had a very quiet race, if I'm honest, P7. Sean has done excellent on them 26 lap old hards, P8. Baja, P9. Donkey, after not having a great race with a couple of incidents, P10. Golden Egg Fry, P11. Perez, P12. Tarrier, I really do jinx him, and I do feel sorry for him, but there's a bit of an ambitious move on the final lap there into turn 1. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Balajob's P14, and Owen Howell, after having a bit of a moment, the last one to come across the line. I'm pretty sure he will get the fastest lap. I'll have to question Arbon on it, but I'm pretty sure it's only the top 10 that get the point for the fastest lap. As we round off through Parabolica. It's been a chaotic race, but a great one to commentate. So yeah. Wow. Yeah, Terry, I'm sorry, mate. It's not great. Shall be very happy with the top 5 and tier 2. So we wait for F1 to sort itself out so I can actually see the podium. And there we have it, the race results for round 8 around Monza. Lofty Pickle with another dominant display, keeping it clean and with no warnings, I assume, in P1. Razor, P2, under the radar once again. Great result for the Haas driver. P3, 10 cut after a little bit of an incident. I forget who it was with, but he's managed to claw up and back into P3. Infinity with a great race, P4. Shelby, despite the 6 seconds, up into P5. DJ, P6. 10th Cannon, Sean, P7 and 8, Baja, P9, Donkey, P10, rounding that off, and Golden Egg Fryer, Perez, Tarrier after a great display, down to P13, Balajobs, Owen Howell, Snipes, and then the DNFs, Bruce Wing, Tolu, Igor, and General Jake. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure you tune in next week for round number 9. I believe it's China. I'll just double check. Yep, so it's China next week, so tune in for then. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys later.